empowering women in India, it's only one way, that it needs to be a massive push of speaking what is normal, what is not normal. If you see 50% of population doesn't work, you're in trouble as a country. I consider the influencer can earn as much money as any cricketer. Endless, right? If it's a food influencer who presents the most awesome, pani puri in Mumbai, and it goes widely viral, and people love it, it's a reality of India, people do go buy and eat it on the street, right? He can present McDonald's. He can give the love of pani puri to McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm so sure, would love to be as popular as pani puri. Definitely it will make the business different. One Indian gone influencer with lakh plus followers actually reshared my story and told that because of these foreigners we are all suffering. They're so irresponsible. They brought that virus to our country. People are dying because of like them. And that's where I experienced a hate wave which hit me mentally horrible. When you see like comments that is popping up every single minute under your child's photo and wishing her to die, it is horrible. It's a horrifying experience. I closed my profile.
Would you like to start by telling us a little bit about your beginnings? Like, start with your childhood. Like, how was your childhood? How are your early memories and so on?
So I'm Russian originally. I was born and brought up in Siberia, but I keep calling myself fake Russian. I hate cold. And it's not about only hate. I can't take, and I really fall sick every time when I go in winter, etc. So I brought up in a normal middle-class Russian family. My mom used to be a teacher in that time. Then she turned to be a principal at school. My dad was a mechanic engineer working in the factory in a very small town, just like 30,000 people. 2 hours away, that I will educate now everyone, there is a World Heritage, Natural Heritage, they call the Lake Baikal. It's the deepest lake in the world. The lake where you can just go come and drink water. So Switzerland is relaxing and really could not, I think, be compared. It's really beautiful nature. So I was brought up like 40 minutes away from there. That's been my sea, where we used to go in the childhood. So my Russian parents, my mom and dad, my mom especially, she's kind of strict. She made sure that I'm always very busy. I used to go to art school. I do ballet. I did ballet like for 8 years of my life. I've done gymnastics on kind of professional level, but then I got the injury and I had to complete my successful sport career. And I was studying at the same time. And so I always knew that I will study well. I think my mom put this perspective in me. And Russia is a good thing that if you really study well, if you do, the education is free. Schooling is free. Schooling, no one pays anything. Like until you don't want to go to private school, but it's debatable. Sometimes it's worth it. Most of the time I feel it's not worth it because government education has high standards as well. So I graduated as an A+ student and I got 100% scholarship to the 5th university in Russia. It is a mining university. My mom, I really admire her. She made me that 100%. It's like a lot of efforts that who I am right now, it's because of my mom. So my mom put in my head that I made to be a Russian mining engineer manager. So I'm giving virtual high five to all engineers in India that have been forced by their parents to go there because it's a similar pattern. And not been forced. My mom has actually put it in my mind that that's something that I really want to do. And that's when I completed my tests, the results came pretty good. I could choose universities where I can study. I was like, I want to do that. Until I did not got admitted to the university, the National Mining University. Spoiler, Putin has done the PhD from my university. Because Russia runs on mining, right? It's a primary economy driver.
Right.
So that's where I started, and I shifted to St. Petersburg, and I started studying. It was a high competing environment because in my school I was a second student. There was one girl who was ahead, who's my best friend. She was much better than me. So there I came and I understood that I'm somewhere on the ground, just making it. from the top student to the like just making it, just passing it, just kind of made in it. And after the first exams has come, I passed, of course, but I passed in low grades, which I not accept, like I'm not used to have. And that's what brought me to marketing, because I felt absolutely devastated. I felt like heartbroken. I even didn't know how to call my mom. Imagine my mom was principal, right, at school. And call her and say that, Mom, I passed it, but with the lowest grade possible. So I decided, okay, I'm not good in studying. In this mining stuff, it was very challenging. There was a lot of chemistry, it was a lot of physics, maths, etc. And I said, okay, let me at least then start working. If I'm not good in studying, let me at least do something productive. And that's where I went to marketing.
Got it.
And I started marketing from the ground level, the person who is a promoter in the malls, and pulling people from the crowd to the stores, offering some freebies. Then I had fantastic experience. I worked for Greenpeace as a volunteer who is asking people to donate money. And that's where I've done fantastic sales trainings, like world-class sales training. Because imagine I'm staying in the mall and I have to make people to donate not less than 500 rupees for the clean water. Not for the kids, not for the people who are dying, for the clean water. It was very challenging, and it's where sales kind of skills start getting framed. I think after 2 months when exams was passed, I found a job and I started working in parallel to 3 p.m. I used to go to university. After it, I used to rush for work, finishing by 8 p.m. After 2 months, I said my parents, you can just not send me money because I can sustain now and live on my own. My mom was not very happy. She thought that I'm doing things that I can do much better. And actually now I agree with her that I could utilize my potential much better. I could go for some international internship, or I can, upskill. I can do some study, whatever. That time I disagree. But that gave me personality who I am. I'm very independent. I completely vote that every woman shall be financially independent. When you have money, you have a capacity to make decisions. That helped me to be right now in India, because when I was marrying my husband, my family did not support me at all. It was like, a love marriage story that people do have in India, when the North meets South, and the parents are making drama which could be put in the Bollywood filming. That was coming from my side. My mom cried, tells that she will get heart attack and etc. But nothing much could be changed, because I used to making decisions for myself, like from the age of 18. Living on my own money, making my own decisions, decided if I want to travel, not asking for the support, not asking for the help here, made me very strong. Then when by the age of 25, and I said I'm marrying the guy from India, no one was happy about it, but no one could do anything about it. You can be happy, you can be unhappy, but it's my decisions moving forward. So we never know. I feel that whatever works for us works for the best. So that's how I started my marketing career, from the merchandising and learning the power of convincing people, facing people, etc. Got promoted, then worked in the cinema as a marketing / sales person who used to sell the ad time before the movie starts. That's where I made my money. I really made a good money. I bought my own apartment in St. Petersburg at the age of 23. I made it because Avatar played on my role. It's my favorite movie for the reason also that it gave me decent money that I have in my own house property, which was kind of unbelievable in that time. Then I burned out because working, doing that mining stuff, which I definitely did not like. And I knew that the worst things that can happen in my life to work even one day in the mining company, which I was actually done my bachelor and then MBA for the same, because university was good overall, no regrets, because I think mathematics, physics, chemistry is very important. In general, science help us to frame common sense and logic. So no regrets. That definitely taught me how to learn quickly, how to apply common sense. And then after when I burn out, I started working with an NGO, and that's where I started growing NGO together with the second co-founder later. Then we created the first a very big social enterprise in Russia. That's where I turned to be the first time co-founder and social entrepreneur. And I built it for 3 years and again burnout. And those burnout led me to India. So that's from the childhood, the story of my life.
Got it. Thanks so much for walking me through that. I'd love to double take on marketing a little bit. For someone who's just entering the workforce and thinking about a career in marketing, what would you recommend are potential ways for them to get into marketing, and what does a career ladder look like in marketing?
Career ladder ground starts from execution, and you need to know by hands how to do things. Now a lot of things are done through digital marketing, and it's something that is booming because something is scalable. So I would suggest there's 2 companies that dominate the world in marketing, Meta and Google. So what I suggest, they both have free courses. Just to understand common sense and logic, how 2 main platforms that dominates and ride their world works. So Google starts with Google Analytics. It's a fantastic free course which is available on Coursera and everywhere. You don't need to pay anything. Don't go to digital marketing academies. Most of them, sorry to say, they're not worth it. Like, that's what I believe. Because just go to Google Analytics, take at least beginner course, and go to the Facebook Blueprint. It's also free resources. Understand about Facebook advertising capacities and what's happening there. And after it, go for the intern. Like, if you understand the common sense and logic there, then go for the intern. Go for the internship for the different type of companies. It could be D2C. D2C is booming in India. That's where you can learn a lot more about like how to communicate with consumer. Go to the SaaS, which is your expertise. Learn how to grow in B2B segment. What is B2B inbound, outbound marketing done? Then where experience actually shaping us, that's what I feel is like to start. And how marketing ladder will look. Like I will tell you how my marketing ladder completely looked in India. I struggled. I went for 30 interviews. No one was taking me after when I shifted to India because of my husband. And I had no network, no relatives who can just promote me in certain ways. So I was consistently getting declined. And I understand I also would decline myself. My English was broken. So I had the same problem which a lot of Indian students from tier 2, tier 3 cities do have. And that's where I want to deliver, guys. I literally could barely speak English when I started. If I done it, you also can do it, you know. It's possible. So, but I was keep trying. Every single day I had a target, I was keep checking on Naukri, on LinkedIn, across everywhere, shaping up my CV for the role which needs to be done. And then I got accepted by the startup. And that's where you can get, without any IIT behind you or a rich network, you can, and even with broken English, you can get accepted. And it was big high workspace. It was the largest co-working network, which is profitable. And I think very soon we will get to know that they're a public company. So they were happy to take me. And that's how career looks. I started as executive. I started with marketing. Then I shifted to events. Events is actually also very interesting, where your network is getting very rich and you're able to understand a lot of things on the ground. Because I do not suggest anyone to start like how I started, with a promoter in the mall. In India, it's a dead end. In Russia, the social disparity is not so much. That's where yet could be future and you can do it. In India, where the social disparity is huge, don't go for it. It's really not worth it. But what is worth it? Go for the startup, work in an internship or take an executive role, right? That's something to begin with. And that's where hard work only plays. That's where you can start growing. You can start growing any department you will go. Event, social media, which is huge, of course. You can go to paid marketing. You can go to SEO. Any of these areas. Just start delivering results that business can measure. Any business will invest, and you can, I think, agree here, where you see positive ROI. ROI is coming, you will invest. And invested means that you can negotiate for your position, for your salary. Position without salary means nothing. Just also to add the point, because in India people like labels. These guys go for better salary rather than the better position, because you sell your time. When you work for someone, and even when you run your own company, you sell your time versus what you could do much more meaningful, fun. I don't know, I can play with my daughter. That's what I'm always betting on, right? So then start, if you are driving positive impact on business can become a manager, you can start growing the team. You consistently need to upskill. The marketing is changing so much, the trends. AI, in the next 3 years, people who are considered them experts and veterans, like who are like guru in marketing, I believe in 3 years we will see new gurus. Because the one who is faster adopting, the one who is quicker learning, can really grow very fast. And that's a window of opportunity for people with lack of experience, with lack of background and etc. That's your time. Technically, it's their time to grow right now. Because in 3 years, you can start as an intern and you can be the one who will be heading marketing in 3 years for the large company. And it will be no startup anymore. Because things are changing so fast. When you have so many experience, you run on your own loop, right? If something worked for me once, I will keep doing it. But AI changed it. And my own loop does not let me grow so fast as young guys can do. Because they don't have experience, they don't have tunnels, they don't have expectations, what will work, what will not. So for them, picking up easy, then it's mentally. So that's how I think marketing ladder can look.
Got it. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you're doing right now? Tell us the story of how DRIM got started and what's the mission of the company?
Of course, that I can speak for hours. That's my favorite topic, Aditya. We are done.
Going.
After it will be there will be no other question coming in. So firstly, thank you very much for calling it DRIM. Because I know that many people call it DRM, direct response influence marketing. But for me, it means so much that I consistently break English and I say, no, it's DRIM. Call it DRIM because it is a dream. So I will start first with mission. We are the first true social commerce platform where we strongly believe and we prove it and we do it, where millions can earn millions. What's happened in the advertising world, and especially in influencer marketing? Advertisers has a budget to promote, to get more consumers, to improve sales, because marketing and sales, two hands of the same body. Then this budget, 80% of it go to the Google and Meta, two monopoly. And where they distribute it and they sell us as consumers, we all consumers, let's say on 20%. Because they are a SaaS company, 80% marginality is normal. So technically, if advertiser is ready to spend 1 rupee on you, you receive technically benefit worth 20 rupees or 10 rupees, 20 paisa, 10 paisa, maybe 5 paisa. It depends on optimization, how much it can be done. So technically, the money gets stuck. When it comes to the influencer marketing, what's happened? That influencer do charge, and after it, out of 1 rupee, influencer receive, let's say, 80 paisa, and 20 paisa goes to the agency. That's where the whole cycle, and after it, no one benefit. And we are all getting targeted. What we are doing? We are going to the large advertising company and saying, you have 1 rupee because you want to increase business. Give the value firstly to your customer. We are pushing them for the better offer, for coupon codes. We are pushing them for the something that consumer will enjoy. Benefit your consumer. That's where 20-25% will go. 20-25 paisa will go there. Then we have a system where we have fantastic women, mostly women, 99%, females that want to be independent, who believe in financial independence, but the life is not that easy. They might be born in the background which is very orthodox. They might be living in the city where they don't have any jobs. Or they might be mothers, and it's very difficult to leave your child, and it's a question that, is it worth to go to the office when you have a little one who's crawling down? So we hire them as influencer talent manager. We educate them for free, 0 charges. I know already fraud alerts start happening that, we start getting replicated and people start charging and telling that, little bit tweaking our logo. I consider it the first sign of success. If someone is trying to replicate me and trying to do something on my behalf, it means that I have certain reputation, which we are fighting. So anyone who wants to apply, it's only through our website. Go to our website, go to career option and then influencer. We don't charge any single penny, nothing. We educate them. We take also commitment because I will not work for anyone. And there is not a job where you can take 3 cups of chai and in the middle sit and reply on emails. Because I'm performance. I'm everything about performance. As a business co-owner, I keep measuring the results. In our company, the way to promote is very easy. Show result. There is no kind of, that you need to have a good relationship with your manager or whatever. It doesn't matter. You need to perform and good results. So those women join us remotely, work, they get a percentage of the advertisers. Then influencers receive the percentage from the advertisers for every successful action, we call it. It's called CPA model. But it could be sales. It could be whatever brings positive ROI, return of investment, to the business. So we don't pay influencers just for the content. We pay for results. And we take a certain percentage to run our business, to run soft, to run the team, to run the everything. And also on the side, which we recently were able to implement, we start giving to the social causes. Certain small, tiny amount also. That's what we're implementing. And that's why I believe that my company has a mission that we are consistently proving every single day, doing heavy lifting. We're a small startup. Millions earn millions. And I have cases. I have fantastic women who are somewhere in the north, in a tier 3 city, something like Pushkar in Rajasthan, right? Who's working and earning monthly from DRIM 50,000-60,000 rupees, which gives a lot of decision-making power, which helped me to make choices like marry or not marry someone, right? Crucial choices. And you also feel that, worst coming to worst, I will survive on my own. So I have these 200 women who works with. And I have such influencers who create content that resonate with the audience, who are true influencers. They have a trust. They have connect with the audience. They're not living just Instagrammable life, when people just watch and they know that there's nothing to do with me. They present the reality and they connect with the audience. They technically kind of become they watch serial about their life, how they live, right? So those influencers, very often un-Instagrammable, traditionally advertisers decline them. Because they decline advertisers what they want to. They want to have a very stagnant marketing kind of paradise. What sells? What sells? Sells beauty, sex, desire. It's all sells, but what sells for the millennials? What sells for boomers, for zoomers? Trust, authenticity, ability to connect with the person. Because that's how the decision is made. It's not about only how it used to be from Kotler time, when he created the marketing Bible, right? It's changed. And we pick up those micro-influencers and we give them the huge brands where they can connect. If it's a food influencer who presents the most awesome, Pani Puri in Mumbai, and it goes widely viral, and people love it. It's a reality of India. People don't go buy and eat it on the street, right? He can present McDonald's. He can give the love of Pani Puri to McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm so sure, would love to be as popular as Pani Puri. Definitely it will make the business different. And if he will give the discount and value prop to the customer also will love it.
Yeah.
So that's what about our company does.
Let me pause for a second. Let me check. Bubble is scratching up. So we'll do a little bit more on marketing, then a little bit more on women work-life balance, things like that, and then a bit on personal brand. What is the cost per action model? Can you tell a little bit more about it?
Sure. It's the most fair model to everyone. When you pay cost per action. Every business on different stage is different. When the business is small, it's an app. They need installs. So it will be cost per install. How much you're ready to pay for. When the business is growing, they want purchase within this install. It could be cost per. In marketing, there is 2 terms. It could be acquisition, when you get a new user because you do have recurring purchases, and it could be recurring purchase. So it could be cost per acquisition, cost per recurring purchase. And a big business, like a large business that widely spread, etc. It could be very different. It could be cost, they want to retain. It could be just cost per order because they have so many, especially e-commerce in India. It's a very standard problem statement. They acquired, I think, half of India. Now we're purchases, right? So it's a retention. So it's whatever action delivers a business value and make business to thrive. That's cost per action. And this is fixed model in terms of that every business has a unit economics. When if you spend on install 200 rupees, then most likely you will go bankrupt. And we are shifting from the model of startups and everyone just working on the potential product market fit, shifting to the model where economy will demand the business to be profitable. So that's where everyone can calculate and pay only for make their business thrive.
So for a company looking at getting into influencer marketing or trying it out for the first time, what is your advice to them? How should they get started? And how should they think about the budget they should allocate towards influencer marketing?
It's a very good question, which as a marketer I will reply, it depends. The favorite phrase, it depends. What kind of business it is? What kind of stage of business it is? I will tell you one interesting stat. It comes from the Statista report. It's for India in 2023. They release for 2023, 2024 yet to come. 95% of businesses in India do spend on influencer marketing. And only 4% out of them receive positive ROAS. ROAS is a return on ad expenditure. So the rest technically burning money, which with the era of AI, which is era of technology, with economical changes, right, shift, I think is not sustainable at all. And that's where I believe that every business shall start thinking the same way. What can I give more to consumer? Influencer is my channel. So you need to validate the channel. And then you need to start understanding true influencers. Give them the creativity. Don't fix them up. Don't give the brief that will be you have to go record on the camera and look like an not professional actor. Don't make influencers be unprofessional actors. It's inefficient. It doesn't give the value. Let them creativity. They have come so far. Let them create a script for you. Let them advertise your company knowing their audience, knowing what works better, what is the real taste of. So give this flexibility and let it. The other thing which is, I believe, every company shall validate micro-influencers, because when we go to, I don't say that macro mega does not make sense. It makes sense for the large advertisers, and large advertisers I consider companies with 100 years history. My favorite example, which I've given on many conferences, is Levi's. It's a jeans, right, brand that has a sentiment for the people, let's say 45 plus, where people feel that it's cool. But for a very long time, they lost the kind of generation, like my maybe, which is 30s, which consider like Levi's is my dad's jeans,
Yeah.
It's not my jeans. Because it's not really cool. I don't know. I rather will go even the same costing, right? I rather will go, I don't know, for Calvin Klein on the higher, or I will go for Zara, which is mass market, but the models are better and the suiting is better. What they're doing now, and where they utilize Makara and mega influencer, and it makes sense. They hired Deepika Padukone as a brand ambassador. And Deepika Padukone for me is an influencer. Celebrity in a digital world, they're influencer. Because they do come on screen once in a couple of years. Yeah. But they do come on Instagram at least once in a week. So that's a question mark. This celebrity or macro influencer is also celebrity. Someone like Projecta Cole or someone. They're also already celebrities. So they hired her because she's really cool. And she is, the way how they done that, it's called TVC or DVC. TVC if it's a commercial on TV, and DVC in digital. They done a very, very cool, like when you can see how cool her jeans are, that she's hanging out with a young crowd, she's doing something between skating and dancing, I don't know what, but it's given a different vibe. And they hired her for a long contract to change the perspective, to make sure that Levi's associate as a cool, modern brand with follow the fashion, versus to be the favorite 511 jeans of my dad. That's what micro and mega influencer. But can it sell? When we come to the revenue, it cannot sell. I might consider it will come through many reminders, through seeing posters, billboards, ads, whatever, that it is fashionable brand. But like I know that I'm not Deepika Padukone. I know that I don't have her body. I know that the way how Levi's look on her butts will not look on my butts in the same way. So it doesn't give me purchase intent. And that's where micro-influencer. Because consider micro-influencer as your neighbor. If my neighbor wearing fantastic jeans and she's a normal human being who is not a Bollywood, who is not celebrity, with a normal human body, right? Because those are extraordinary examples. and her jeans looks really nice. I will ask her, what's the brand that you're wearing? And she will tell me it's Levi's. That's where it will purchase intent created.
It's more relatable.
Because I will start thinking, oh, if she's wearing, and it's also making it in terms of purchase intent, in terms of price. Deepika can afford any jeans, right? Whatever she wants, I can't. Like, I can't go and buy jeans which will cost like $1,000. It's not within my budget. But if my neighbor bought Levi's, with whom I live, with whom I can connect, associate, then I will kind of, maybe I will feel that it's expensive, but if she is wearing, she's automatically bringing this purchase intent and understanding that normal people buy it. Like, if she bought it, like, I'm not worse than her, I can also buy it. That's where micro-influencers create purchasing. And that's where I believe that every brand shall think wisely. What are you creating? If you're the brand with 100-year history and you need to receive a love out of the Zoomers, Boomers, Millennials, whatever, yes, do work with their icons. And most likely it will be macro, mega, super influencer. But if you want to create purchase intent, do work with micros.
So with micro-influencers, it's a lot more about relatability because they are that much closer to you that it takes the purchase intent actually higher.
Yeah.
Got it. How should a company think about ROI when it comes to influencer marketing? How can a company measure the ROI?
Same way, measure it as any performance marketing channel. Set up the attribution, whatever your attribution methodology is, and just do measure ROI. Because it's a digital world, right? The beauty of digital marketing, you can measure everything. When you put a billboard, right, you have an assumption how many people will see it. Then you have an assumption how many people is your target audience. Like, I have a billboard in Maratali. My assumption that so many people pass Maratali, so many people will see it, which is not the truth, right? Sometimes I'm driving and I don't see any billboard because something. Then they expect that so many people is this gender, this income, etc. But if you take, what is the beauty of micro-influencer? The audience usually looks the same as the influencer is, because as you correctly mentioned, it's about being able to relate. You're able to relate to someone who is like you or someone who is inspiring you. That's two only ways why you follow micro-influencer. Because either the person who you share the same values, and that's where audience look like the influencer, either someone who is inspiring you and you want to be like them, which is again coming back to the values, right? And it's again meaning that the person may be not there, but person on the way. So in that case, you know whom you're speaking. With micro-influencers, you can do hyper-targeting. You can do really selective audience. You can do a really deep dive into audience checkup. And the way to measure is the same. Because Meta or Google, right? They both hold YouTube, Instagram. They're both platforms. In those platforms, everyone runs performance marketing. Influencer is just the same way. It's work on the same platform, just a different method. So measure ROI, nothing else.
Let's talk about SEO. Is search engine optimization going to be relevant in the coming years?
Good question. Very good question.
And how does AI impact?
Yeah, that's exactly what is rolling in the mind of everyone. That's why you can see there are many SEO public companies, SEO focused. They're not growing as they used to grow 2 years ago, right? Before their validation, valuation, and everything was pretty promising. Now they're not dropping because it's a profitable business. SaaS usually is a profitable business. But people are not ready to invest, I think, like for the next 5 years. Like, I'm not ready. Okay, I will not speak about people, I will speak myself. I'm not ready to invest for the next 5 years or to buy the stock of someone and hold on for the 5-10 years because I don't know. AI is changing. The consumer already start using voice, right? The voice search, okay, voice search also optimized for. But now with the personalization, with having Siri, who's getting smarter, right? Do I need Google? It's a big question mark. I will need Google in 5 years or with ChatGPT? Like right now, I don't do any research on the basis of Google or anything. I just go to ChatGPT and say, provide me the summary. I think because Google is so huge, right? It's monopolist, technically. Even in the US, they recently said to break Alphabet, right? As a conglomerate to the different entities as anti-monopoly steps. Because they are monopolist, they're not stupid. And they have so much data. they have so much power, they have so much money, which is on the very huge valuation and no one really knows, no one sees this money. In that case, I think that Google will adapt and Google will make sure that they sustain, they change the technology. Their business most likely, 90% will not go anywhere. But what will happen with SEO companies? And it's again the story of intern and the person who is 10 years or 12 years, who can adopt faster. The agile SEO agencies, the agile SEO SaaS companies who are able to act as a startup very quickly. Okay, we've done today something this, changed, shut it down, working in a different way. These companies will thrive. Because Google will not let completely search engine go, but how it will go and what will be the future, I don't know.
Got it. So let's say for a company that doesn't have a lot of budget, not for marketing, not for PR, not for SEO, what would you recommend as a way for them to get noticed, as a way to get attention?
Referral. Make your customers refer you. Create a great referral program. Do let your customers to earn by promoting you. Put the benefit for them. Talent. The second, without having much money, if you're talented and if you're a good marketer, right? Figure out what is a growth hacking. Growth hacking is not going anywhere. It's a kind of abusing word in marketing industry. But the point, it's a mindset, right? What kind of this 20% of effort that will give you 80% of results? And that requires talent just to figure out how I can grow without spending much. So that's two things which I believe that put your talent, put your mind, and figure out that what is actually delivers the results. And at the same time, create a referral program.
Where does DRIM fit in the journey of a company getting into influencer marketing? What is DRIM's proposition to the companies?
So we have different. One, let's start speaking about the startups, SMB, small business owners who actually do spend on influencers. It was my very different learning. There are the companies that are startups. They spend like 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs. Believe me, sometimes large advertisers even kind of thinking about this, but they do spend because they feel that it's a hang of hype and that will lead them somewhere. Like, for example, the previous question, I could easily reply to and say influence marketing. And it will be benefiting for my business, right?
Yeah.
But that's not a kind of a magical tablet that could be given to everyone. And I would suggest not to kind of just burn blindly as companies do. So what we do for SMBs? For SMBs, we tell, we have a very huge database. We have 1.8 lakh social media influencers. That data we are crawling, we are understanding, we are able to create a segmentation, we are able to understand performance metrics, etc. We're giving you access. We will run cost per visit. Why cost per visit? Because visits could be trackable, it's measurable, it's a top of the performance funnel. But at the same time, guys, you're lacking of awareness. For me to sell any unknown fashion brand, how many interaction I shall have with the customer, with consumer, versus if I run H&M with 10% off additional. It is a very different pipeline and funnel, sales funnel. And that's where I say I can't make influencers suffer and not earn money because you need awareness. You need to be there. So it's a cost per visit model with ability to optimize. They need to run it with us for a couple of months. Where we do optimize, we see the product market fit, because there are many companies that they don't know even yet. Is there a product market fit or not product market fit? And what I keep saying to the business very openly, it doesn't matter startups or really large conglomerates like Landmark Group or Jubilant Foodworks, whatever. I say I can't solve business problems. I can solve marketing problems, but I can't solve business problems. Because business problems, please figure out on your own. It's much more rooted than the marketing. In that case, we run usually cost per visit for 3-4 months. We try to optimize. We see if the CPM, what is CPM? Cost per mileage, cost per 1,000 views, and cost per after it action, when we identify the action, really match and making sense for the influencer to work with this brand on cost per action. Because, see, I have advertisers with me and I have influencers and I have scouts about whom I shall take care and make sure that they earn. If they don't earn, they will leave me. So I figure out the marketing funnel pipeline And to some of them, we do make CPA proposal. To some of them, we don't. Because product market fit, it is a business problem. It is not my problem. When we come to the companies who are already known, who are already large, let's say Sugar Cosmetics or something like that, they're not yet landmark group, right? But they are known. There's no question about trust to them. There is no question about the product market fit, etc. We propose usually mixture, top and bottom funnel, or either cost per action, which will be more expensive than Facebook. Why? Because Meta, more expensive than Meta. Because content creation takes time. I do not have all buttons as Meta has to do the targeting, but I have a trust. And my conversion ratio usually is higher. In terms of purchase intent is much stronger. But at the same time, content shall be created, content shall be good. There's a lot of optimization happening in the background. Influencer selection data, right, which we invest a lot. And data cost my company a lot. We also need to cover the cost, right? So I will be more expensive, let's say 25-30% than Meta in terms of cost per sale, but I can work with them on the CPA model. But I will be much more expensive. And there are some companies like who are just monopolists in the market, who are really huge and who saturated their Meta capacity on certain level. And they consistently hunting for the new channels because they know that if Meta wants to bid higher, Meta will bid higher, right? But their economics will just go for the toss because for them, every 5 rupees is actually reflecting on P&L drastically. And they consistently work with the affiliate partners, with any other channels, right? And that's where I also come. I fit into the economics of this because I know that there is every single rupee make change on a large scale. But I also know that influencer promote, for example, Domino's Pizza, and in the first post from one publication, micro-influencer can earn couple of lakhs, even as the cost per action, cost per sale is very low. It's yet okay, because the amount of orders will come in lakhs. It will not come like, single digits. It will come really like thousands. And that in scale, obviously I have a fixed cost, which is a cost of running campaign, right? It's resources, etc. I have flexi cost, which is influencer cost and scouts cost, right? And I have flexi cost in terms of data, because how much data I do utilize. These 3 flexi costs shall be very carefully calculated on cost per action, because that's business growth and the cost is growing. But the fixed cost is stable, right? That's where I can optimize. Because wherever, like on a small campaign, it's come like a 50% of my cost. On the large campaign, it can be 5%. And that's where, of course, I can optimize and I can fit into unit economics, understanding the business problem statement. That in their way, they're just hunting for the new channels, which I'm one of it. So that's my reply.
Right. In terms of actually working with the influencers, how should a company approach it? Should the company try to control the narrative of how their product or offering is positioned, or should they allow complete freedom to the influencer?
It shall be mixture. There are some brand calls, there are some value prop. You know your product better. Give don'ts. What will damage your brand, your reputation, your business? What you are trying, maybe you spend a lot of money not to be like McDonald's if you're a burger company. And if they will compare you with McDonald's, they dilute your value. So give don'ts to the influencers because you know your product better. Hopefully the business has consumer insights, etc. Like give what not to do, but don't tell what to do. Give restrictions. This is prohibited. Please, this is stay away. But what to do? Let the creativity to flow. Let them bring their expertise, creativity, mind. I believe the most beautiful thing that any business can do, make any mind work for you. And if you don't give scripted, you actually make someone else's mind work for you. Let it happen.
Right. Let's talk about the journey of an influencer. I think you're also going through this journey yourself,
Yeah.
through your Instagram, through your storytelling, all these events and so on that you're doing as well. First, tell us about how your journey has been. How do you approach this, and what's your mindset?
See, I'm not an influencer. I'm an entrepreneur. It took me a lot of time to accept it. Because my journey with DRIM started that I resigned from a big company, from SEO company. Then I was figuring out what I want to do. I started doing consultancy. Consultancy was going great. Consultancy turned to the small boutique agency, which we started working just with few very big international clients. And my salary was tripled versus what I used to earn working for someone. And then DRIM has come as a picture when my friend, I know Kirill, the main co-founder for years, he said, like, help me to find product market fit. I said, okay, I will do it as a consultant. But I had so much faith in the product, and I was feeling that the gap that we are solving, that the DRIM was solving at that time, is actually huge. That's where we came to the conclusion. I became a co-founding team member. I had to shut down my agency, my boutique agency, like I sold it, and move ahead with the DRIM journey. So in parallel, I already understood that being an influencer is a huge asset. Being visible in the market, that's what makes you stand out of crowd. And I start putting a lot of efforts when I resigned from the corporate work and start growing. The easiest way for me to grow, that's what I was keep settling with myself. Say I'm a foreigner who lives in India. My journey could interest a lot of people. And the easiest way, I can really get a lot of followers. Like, they will be mostly males. They will be located in tier 2, tier 3 cities. If I will just wear Indian outfits, dance, pray, go to the temples, or cook.
Yeah, get ready with me.
Not even get ready. I can just wear a lehenga or sari, little bit Bollywood dance moves, go to the temples. It's a next clickbait, right? Foreigner goes to the temple, right? Then cook Indian, some masala, cook with me. People crazy for food. India is a foodie country, right? And I will tell you that if I would follow the journey, I most likely will receive a couple of lakhs, if not couple of millions followers. And I know Russian women who do that, and I have nothing against it. Like, it's a good marketing strategy. I appreciate it, but I can't do it. It's not me. I really can't do it. I don't wear Indian outfits. Sari is so uncomfortable. It's a 6-meter fabric, which I need to roll around me and figure out how not to fall down. Secondly, I kind of feel that I betrayed my personality if I will start doing that who I am not. Yeah. Secondly, what I will do is this, let's be honest, man followers from somewhere that, like, from tier 2, tier 3 cities. What can I do with them? I never can monetize them from my perspective. And it's only will add complication into my family life. So with all these thoughts, plus I had an accident in COVID, we shifted to Goa. And when we shifted to Goa, COVID second wave, which was very bad for India, I put my stories where I was walking alone in the beach with my family without mask. And one Indian Goan influencer with lakh plus followers actually reshared my story and told that because of these foreigners, we are all suffering. They're so irresponsible. They brought that virus to our country. People are dying because of like them. And that's where I experienced a hate wave, which hit my mentally horrible. When you see like comments that is popping up every single minute under your child's photo and wishing her to die, it is horrible. It's a horrifying experience. I closed my profile completely. I made it private. I was growing slowly, mostly focusing on the valuable audience, like having a slow and steady growth. But that's completely knocked me off from being an influencer. That accident, don't fight with influencers. That's only what I can tell you. Because this lady, she made my life nightmare. It literally, I had to go to therapist. And after it, I was keep cleaning this disgusting comments because it touched the most sensible part of me, my daughter. So I made it completely private. I yet have in my block list, I recently was wondering, then I remember why. I have 700 people that I blocked at that time. Every single person who commented any disgusting comment went to block forever from my background. And that's actually pushed me out of influence marketing. Because I start thinking, am I ready for it? Am I ready to? Popularity brings a lot of love from different people, a lot of friends. I got my best friend, one of my best friends in India, now she lives in Spain, through my blogging that I had in Russia, like literally blogging. And it's a meaningful connection. But at the same time, I understood it's not only about love, there can be a huge hate. That also, am I ready for it mentally? Do I really want to be popular? That was question non-stop running in my mind. So then, like couple of years, I've had a private account. I did not make it public. The followers whom I had were staying with me. But also, when you have a private account, you can't go viral. You can't gain more followers, right? Nothing. So engagement rate also kind of slowed down, etc. But it's okay. I was not focusing. But then I'm going back now to the influencer journey for the reason there's two things. First, I want to not to put so much of my daughter because it's my soft corner, and everyone who attacks her, I will attack back. That's 100%. Secondly, I understood the power from different perspective, working with DRIM. And what drives me as an entrepreneur, right? Entrepreneurship is not easy. It's a very lonely journey. It's a journey when no one can give you feedback, when can you pat on your shoulder and say you do great. When the moment, when you do have risks, when you lose money, when you work, of course, there's no kind of proper break. I do try to take it now for my mental health, but otherwise, for 2.5 years, I was traveling, I was living my life, but there is no kind of, it's a very different responsibility level, right? So in that case, what drives me? The women from Pushkar, the women from Chandigarh, the women from Mumbai, the women that I heard the stories. I don't interact with them so much, unfortunately, because I have so much other things to do. Even I came for podcast late. But when I hear the story, I see some meaning. I see some impact. And that hits me even more when I became a mother of a daughter. Because see, I'm from a different country. In my country, women are very strong, very independent. I sometimes feel too independent. Be a little bit softer, be a little bit more, feminine versus to be so masculine. That's a history of my country because of Nazi war and etc. Right? I came and I see that yes, in India women are much more suppressed and not treated as a way how it could be. But it was not my problem statement. It was someone else. And then I'm becoming a mother who's half Indian who lives in India. A mother of a girl whose future potential in India. And that's why it turned to be my problem. Because I want her to live maybe in a little bit better society, maybe more healthy society. What the hell is it that majority of women take career break and they never come back because of marriage? I can understand motherhood, it's tough to work and at the same time manage a newborn and I can understand, no question. But marriage, you're getting married to the adult who can feed, who can do everything himself. Why it's as a 50% of women taking career break here? Because it's mentality, because it's certain cultures that yet there. And that's what hits me. Because I have a daughter who will grow up in India, who will marry in India, and then what? I'm making my flower to bloom that one time she will get married and then she will stop working and being herself. Because for me, what is work? It's not about money. Money is very good. It's freedom. But it's also growth. Because different problem statements, different experience make it to be a better person, grow consistently. Someone will stop her growth and lock her in the kitchen to cook chapati, to lock the whole potential of hers, That's where the problem statement of women empowerment turned to be mine. And that's where seeing our scouts, our influencer talent managers getting inspired and then understand that, and many of them do follow my profile, right? That's where I consistently deliver in stories. Be yourself, live your life. Women wants to cook, she doesn't want to cook. She wants to have baby, she doesn't want to have baby. I respect all choices until it's hers. Shall be her choice. It shall not be choice of someone else. That's what I don't support. That's make me feel stronger and make me feel that yes, I do want to come back to be an influencer because I see the positive income that I can drive out of it. Yes, I'm not keen to acquire 1 million, 2 million, 50 million, whatever, half a billion Indian vamp who will look at me in the sari. I'm not keen because I'm in general not keen in male followers in general.
Yeah.
I'm not keen because these kind of comments, compliments, and etc. They just made my family life complicated. Because I'm a married person, I have a husband, and I think he's very supportive, he's very understanding, but it's not my goal at all. My goal to bring those women who needs to see, if some foreigner, because I consider myself as a tier 3 person who has come from tier 3 city with very shitty university. Because my experience matters zero here. My English was broken. That's a very common problem statement for the women from tier 3 city. And the only what lead me be who I am. Different mindset, different culture. Like my mom never ever spoke with me that I have to get married. Or I can imagine how heartbroken she will be if I would get married and I will say that I will be housewife. Because it's not me. I'm not been built like this. If someone wants to be housewife, I have a huge respect. It's a lot of work. But the choice shall be hers. And the only what made me to build my career, except it's also very important, very supportive partner, who believes in me, who gives me my time, who sometimes complain that I do work too much, who sometimes says that you have all time in the world for the company, but not for me or something. It's normal, right? But he supports me. It was a different mindset. And this mindset, through influence marketing is scalable, right? I can bring my values and mindset and impact thousands of people. And that's what made me to turn back, open my profile from the private to make it again public. I'm yet afraid that if any huge influencer will go against me, I will again shut down and say, good, I'm done and then I'm not ready. It's my fear because of my experience, but hopefully nothing like that will happen. It made me to create, now I have a marketing strategy for my profile. It's my playground because I initially a marketer, right? Now I'm an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you don't do much marketing job because I have a social media director, I have marketing team, etc. But I do like it. I really enjoy marketing. I love it. So my Instagram profile turns to be my personal playground where I can apply my marketing skills. And that's what is getting on a slow speed because work takes 90% of my focus. And only 10% I'm able from professional life to think over and dedicate. And it's also a lot of implementation, execution to my profile, but hopefully it will work.
How do you think about work-life balance, and what kind of mindset would you recommend, let's say a working mom or a woman who's at such a crossroads as you're describing, that they have to make a choice that, okay, do I continue or is there some cultural thing pressuring me? What kind of mindset would you recommend overall?
I want to tell that what I feel. I feel that work-life balance is the biggest bullshit in the world. If people think that they can switch off mind so quickly. Because, see, we live more now in the digital world versus physical world. Physically, we are not exhausted, but many people exhausted mentally, right? In that case, work-life balance, people say that 9 to 6, right? I work from 9 to 6, and after it, what? You switch off? You just completely, but then you're literally wasting from 9 to 6. because it doesn't interest you, it doesn't make any curiosity, it doesn't make any kind of impact on you. If you do some not meaningful job and you waste so much time of yours just because you need money and survive, rather find something what you love doing. Because one of my credo, which I do follow, do what you love, that came from co-working experience, and I strongly believe it, because when you love it, it's about playground again, right? Sometimes I don't know if I work hard or I play hard. What is actually happening in that moment? Because it drives a curiosity, it drives my mindset, I really love it, I keep thinking. Sometimes it's backfire me, that's why I went through 2 burnouts, 3 burnouts in my life. But how I support myself? Whoever has a fire, those only person can burn. If you don't have a fire, you would never burn. And that's a question mark. You want to have a fire or you don't want to have it at all? I rather choose to have a fire and maybe put my hands again in something wrong. But learning from my experience of burnout, what I believe in experiences. Like, as I said to you, like for the first 2.5 years, I took 0 off. Off, it means like, you just literally don't work. I worked on all my vacation, on all my holidays. Even on my holidays, a very standard thing, which is kind of anecdote in our family. Like we go somewhere and then I say, we have to come back in 15 minutes, I have a call. And we all ran for my call because that was my work-life balance. But I do not compromise on experiences. That's where I travel. That's where I run. That's where I do strength training because it's my health. I don't compromise on my health. I do monetize. I do earn money. I'm not a co-founder who will just keep investing only there. Because I also need to live. And I consider my life as a main project. I do love DRIM. I do enjoy work. I see the meaning behind it. But my life comes first. My own life. Health, experiences, my family, my feeling, how I feel, it comes first. I prioritize myself. And I feel in India, women shall prioritize themselves. When it comes to the motherhood, the questions that you addressed, right? I went through the post-delivery depression. I had it, I've been there. It's very tough because your life changed like just one blink and changed completely. Plus hormones, in certain levels they support you, and in other ways they don't support you at all. So that's a roller coaster journey. I came out of it through taking professional help of the therapist who actually helped me without antidepressants. I was lucky enough, but if necessary medical support also, I feel women shall take it if it's really necessary. I was lucky not to go through it. But what I learned through my therapy, I consistently also, I love studying, I love learning, I consistently learn something or another. So in that case, prioritize yourself. Look at that in this way. You love your child, you love your husband, you love your family, but if your glass empty, you can't give anything. You can't give them anything because there is nothing. If in your glass is nothing, what can you give? Fill your glass first to be able to give, because you need to have energy, you need to have resource. And that's where like I do try to, like for example today, after it I go for 2 work calls, which is very important, and I have to attend them and I have to solve problems. But after it in the evening I go for the deep meditation. Like 5:30 p.m. is my 1-hour deep meditation, because yesterday I realized a problem statement that I was working till 10:15. My last call got over. And then I love hot tub. I feel the hot tub because it helps me to relax on a physical level. Like you have to take care. And then lying down in my hot tub, putting candles and all that thing, I keep thinking about work. And then what I've done, I picked up my phone and start working. And then I understood, okay, it will lead me to the burnout stage. So I immediately messaged to the place where I go for meditation. It's a scientific meditation. It does through the light. You're going to the delta stage, alpha stage of your brain. Like technically, brain works like this, right? When you consistently, I want to a little bit make it cover, but I prioritize it. I have tons of work, Aditya, to do today. I can work till 1 a.m. Work will never get over. But I know that if with this wave and this intensity of my brain, first I will start making ineffective decisions. Secondly, I turn to be irritated person, which I already feel. My irritation will go to my family first, because they're the closest, right? And the last thing which I want to drop my irritation on my daughter. It will be that's where I feel guilt and other things that I don't want. What I need to do? I need to take care of myself. I got the problem statement. Brain is overburnt. You need to go and calm it to be able to be a better person, and only fulfilled person can do better. And this lacking a lot in motherhood, because you love the person, you love your child more than yourself, and it's absolutely normal. I do love our daughter more than myself, 100%. But I know if I want to give her love, I need to have my glass full. Otherwise, I'm also human, right? If it's empty, I can't do anything about it.
Thanks. You spoke a lot about your journey during motherhood as well. And I think that is a journey that I can resonate with as well, because that is what I've seen in my family, with my sister, with my partner, with other women in my life as well. I'm thinking about I lost my train of thought.
It's okay, it happens.
Yeah. In terms of encouraging more women empowerment in India, how do you see the future of women empowerment in India over the coming years? And what do you think needs to happen, whether at home or at workplace or in terms of culture, to actually enable that future?
I think it shall happen more on the government level. That kind of marriage and dowry concept that yet exists, it's already prohibited, but shall be pushed more. And government does push. I see that some seats are allocated, especially for women and etc. I in general do not support it, because I believe that professionally it shall not be gender centric, but I feel it's needed in India. For empowering women in India, it's only one way, that it needs to be a massive push of speaking what is normal, what is not normal. Working is normal. And it's benefit the government at the end of the day, because if you see 50% of population doesn't work, you're in trouble as a country, right? 50% of workforce just cooks chapati and dedicate their mind and everything into the kitchen. It does not help the growth of the country.
It's very near the bottom of the list there.
That's economy, right? And that's where I think there shall be a lot done more, because see, to change the culture, it's a cultural thing. You can, I can do my best. I can impact 200 women. Maybe I will grow and I will impact 1,000 women, maybe 2,000. But it's yet not the scale of the country, 1.4 billion people, where 50%, 700 million are women, right? Because it's all connected. Men shall think in the same ways. They shall also consider that it's normal, right? That working is normal, making choices is normal. You cannot command, you cannot dominate, you cannot make decisions alone solely because you have a partner, right? It shall come as a cultural code. And the only way to change, either it's a really huge push through the mass media, promotional campaigns that runs for years, and usually the change takes one generation, which I see the positive impact is happening. I see it's really promoted, and I'm hoping that the generation of my daughter, she's 6, do not have these problem statements like that women who is in their 25, 30s do have, my generation in India. And on other level, that you can see okay, that shall be done on the higher level, on the country, right? But also on the other side, everyone shall put their own efforts too, right? That's where a small drop matters in the ocean, because if it's millions of drops, then the change and the shift happens. That's where I feel that and it's not only women entrepreneurs or women feminists or women empowerment communities, it's booming in India. Like, for example, Leap is fantastic example. They do amazing job. But it's also shall be men. Take accountability here too. You know about your sister, you know about your others. Speak about it. Because men usually hear men. They more feel in authenticity, more respect, more kind of, that more influence from men influencers. And if you can impact, and if you think, for example, this way, and you can impact someone else can impact someone else, that's where each and every drop will keep changing one particular woman's life, one particular person perspective, one more woman who will go and get back to the office or work and start building her career, one more women entrepreneur who will be said, yes, I support you, please go ahead. That's two ways needs to be done at the same time. Small drops along the bigger country vision, etc.
I want to go back to branding for a minute. I've been thinking a lot about branding over the past few years, and in my own journey, one of my biggest learnings when it comes to just branding, general awareness out there, what you can build or what you try to build as an entrepreneur. A founder's personal brand or an entrepreneur's personal brand can be almost more powerful than a company's brand, because you, even in a B2B landscape, you tend to connect more with the people that you are working with, the people who are behind the product, the service that you're trying to buy. How do you view personal brands versus company brands, and what are the differences, and how to build either of them?
It's a very good question. I can hear what you say, that if the founder is a driver of the company growth, it's easy. Human needs human. Human need human. We connect on the human level. Depender Goyle, fantastic example, right? How he drives a motor. Elon Musk. His opinion matters on the stock shares, right? So much. One tweet and the shares goes for the toss. But that is also risky. Company is not about one person. The person shall have capacity to build a company, but company is about team. If you do not have the right product manager, if you don't have right product, if your engineering is really bad, you can be as charismatic, you can be as interesting as a person, people will love you, but you will become a celebrity. But your product, if the matter will start delivering horribly, it will not matter is it depender or it's not depender, right? At the same time. So I strongly believe that it's a product-led marketing versus personal brand. And I also, the other thing which I put a lot of thoughts, because if I will become an influencer with large followers, it's impact my business, right? Direct impact. But it's also risky in a certain way. Because if I, as a normal human being, we all do mistakes. My current mistakes, and especially with public statement, etc., matters nothing. And I can destroy a company, a team, a product, and everything, just put in the wrong statements. And is it really worth it? If you have a good product and everything is roll out, it's a good question. You can accelerate the company growth by your personal brand, but you need to know about the other side of the coin. You can destroy it as well. So it is about debatable topic. What is worth it, what is not worth it. Shall it be done or shall it not be done? I feel that it's more about human. Some people are absolutely uncomfortable to be put on the camera first and become. Some people feel that it's fine. So there is no one answer that will say yes. Personal brand has to be, and it's also abusive word right now in marketing, that personal brand. People just utilize it here and there, right? Which is a lot of question marks, right? If I have 30,000 followers on my LinkedIn, do I have a personal brand? No. Does people, on the basis of your opinion, make decision? That's where you do have a personal brand, and could be just a community of 1,000 people. 1,000 people make decision on your basis. Then it is absolutely impactful, right? So it's debatable. Everyone shall make their own choice, the way how they see it, and validate the risk and benefit out of it.
You must have seen the journey of a lot of influencers over the years. How much money can you make as an influencer?
Endless. It is endless. That's why it's called creator economy. It's not called anything else because it's economy being built. Because people do buy because of influencers. Influencers do create informational products, which is endless, right? You can sell your course endlessly and make fantastic money. You can, when you're a really huge creator, marketing economics and logic does not apply to them. The cost of their association with a brand, when you consider as a marketer, CPM or engagement rate, etc., it doesn't matter. Because they're absolutely out of economics. And that's where they can demand anything what they want. Because the demand for them is much higher than the supply they can deliver, because they're a single person, right? How much single person can kind of put in a day, and at the same time to keep attention, to hold the attention, to hold the trust and everything. There are many things, right? I consider the influencer can earn as much money as any cricketer. Endless, right? Popular cricketers in India, they are just goddess, right? They people just ready to do many things for them, right? Or Bollywood superstar. That's where those kind of income and monetization I can compare with influence marketing.
Let's take an example. Let's say for like an Instagram lifestyle influencer, someone who's just starting to gather maybe a few thousands of followers, few tens of thousands. How do you get started with monetizing? What is that first?
DRIM is the best way. Because Vitaly, choose a brand with whom you want to associate. Add value to your audience that will add your virality chances and gain more audience. And do not lock yourself with certain pricing. Add the value. Because you're speaking like first 1,000 or 10,000, like it's a small deal. I will give you the other way. Imagine that the first 1,000 of the audience, they have in your SaaS business all your potential customers. Or in my business, one influencer who holds a SEMrush community. How much for reaching this 1,000 people I'm ready to pay, right? Because the audience quality matters much more than quantity.
Yeah.
And that's where, if you're in lifestyle, if you are a more generic approach, DRIM is the best option. Where you can choose the brands. Because don't sell something that just because you get 5K or 10K. I have examples where influencers with audience of 20,000 rupees, 20,000 audience, they earned from one reel, which went widely viral because we offer customer to benefit as well. 8 lakhs, 9 lakh per month for a couple of months. No advertiser can ever offer it. But what is the most important, it's not only about money, it's about authenticity. Why is the event so wildly viral? Because finally their efforts of creating authenticity, building trust, has been monetized and paid because the product is right for their audience. Like I can't promote, for example, McDonald's, who's our customer, just because I'm a very health cautious person. And I do eat McDonald's sometimes, like this Sunday, with my family because my daughter loves it. But I can't promote it because it will be a value mismatch on certain level.
Right.
Because if I promote avocado, I do promote avocado, right? That's where I can't pick it up. But I can pick up Domino's pizza. Why? Because I bake pizza every single week. Because it's my activity with Elena. And we have movie nights and I do promote this. I can promote fitness clothes. But can I promote some brand that will be authentic Indian wear? No, I can't.
Right.
Because it's not my personality, right? So that's where the micro-influencers, don't betray yourself. Be first of, you got a little bit popular because of who you are. And if you will start picking up the brands that does not resonate with your audience, it will destroy it. It will literally destroy the all efforts that you made before. And that's where many micro-influencers are stuck. They got 20K followers, they work hard, they build personality trust, they start associating and trying to monetize and get money out of it, connecting with the brands that are not really their brands, because those brands are ready to pay. And it's becoming like, no, you feel betrayed, like as an audience. Like, that's where the growth also turned to be limited. The trust had fallen down, which usually reflects on engagement rate. And that turns to be the stagnant thing.
Yeah, it feels inauthentic, and so the connection with the audience goes down.
Yeah, and then you can't go viral, you can't get widely spread by some of your reels. You can't gain new audience until you don't put a lot of money behind it. And many micro-influencers are the ones who are working and the budgets are not there.
You've done a lot of public speaking events as well. What's your approach to public speaking, and what would you recommend to someone looking to get into it?
I've not done a lot. I debate. I've done very little, very, very little, because every public event requires preparation, requires time, requires mind space, right? And for me, being highly involved into operation of our business, like I always trade on my time. What can I do in 3 hours here? And if I go and speak publicly, what can I do there? So I've done very little speaking. You can do PR to get accepted more, but most important, you should do a lot of active pitching for being shameless and pitching yourself here and there. And it's absolutely normal, people do it until you become the expert, recognized expert, and etc. Then you will be sometimes invited, but yet you need to do active pitching to be invited a lot. So my answer, I don't know, Aditya, because I spoke very little. I could speak much more, and I don't hunt for it because I don't have time.
What's next for DRIM, and what's next for Yulia, let's say in the next 6 to 12 months?
So 6 to 12 months, we are growing now on the speed close to 3x year to year. I want to double the speed. And that's very challenging. That's where the whole team of mine working day and night. And in DRIM, we have a very hard-working culture, but at the same time, a whole playful culture. So we want to go, let's say 12 months, right? In October 2025, I want to be at least 4 times bigger in terms of the revenue, in terms of the, not team size, but I want to have at least with us 500 scouts, women, influencer talent managers. My team shall be also bigger, but not 4x, because otherwise our economics will go for a toss. I want to have for DRIM, that's my dream, that's actually my dream.
Your dream for DRIM.
Yeah, dream for DRIM. We have a certain, we're a very transparent company, and we have a certain revenue goals for the whole team, which once we hit, we will do a awesome, cool offsite in Goa. And I'm preparing for it. And I really want to have, because we're an international team. Our team located from Russia to US to Mexico to, we have a really international team. I want to bring everyone under one roof and have one proper week, maybe trainings, parties, and etc. We will do it in Goa. We already discussed it multiple times. Everyone feels that it's a work hard, party harder place. So I'm really, really looking forward, and I said already to my team that the best gifts they can give me for my birthday, which is coming in February, just to hit the goal. let's celebrate my birthday together with our offsite, and that's something that I'm really keen to do. So this is about DRIM. It's about numbers, it's about growth, it's about more women who are working with us, more success cases, more impactful business that we are able to run. And what about me? I usually have my list, and usually I make it before birthday, the goals that I set up. And the way how I set up goals, some are very performance driven, X number of money or property or something. But 90% of my list is more about how I feel, how I want to feel after 1 year. After 1 year, I want to be much healthier person. I want to have much better immunity system than what I have now. I want to be in terms of I measure everything as performance marketer. I have that smart scale system machine with me.
ROI.
Yes, ROI. I want to have more mass, more muscles, more protein in my body, I don't want to reduce drastically on my bones weight or something. That's how I measure health. So I want to be much healthy person. We have a family couple goals with my husband, because every couple go through several crises, right? Because we are together for 9 years, and the journey keeps going, and you need to kind of get deeper into a relationship to be able to sustain and to be able to grow together. So we have here the goals, and I want to have much deeper relationship. I want to be much more calm mother, much more supportive, much more able to hear my daughter, literally hear what her soul wants. And it requires attention. It requires a lot of kind of calm mind, not which I had yesterday. I have a travel goals every year. Travel usually I split as experience, and I have family travel, which turns to be experience. Then I have independent travel, individual travel, which is more like adventure. Last year I have swum with whales. This year I'm yet figuring out it will be skydiving or something else. That's something that I will remember until I die. Then I have the goals for my parents, how we meet, because they're in different countries and it's important for me to kind of meet them often and etc. So I have goals. I have my dream countries Australia. I really want to go to Australia. I'm not able to go because I need time. I can't work from Australia because the time zone will be very different. It means that I had to work at night and not to sleep at all. And that's where I'm not able to take break. I actually create during this podcast a goal. Next October 2025, I want to have 2 weeks break in Australia because the company will be able to run smoother, because it's not about me, it's about the team. That's what I believe. The team is actually very powerful. And so I want next year to have more free time, to be in October. It's exactly school break, which is wonderful time. To be with my family in Australia, to hug koala, that's my dream. And be able to take, maybe after several years, no vacations, to be able to take vacation. Maybe with very limited number of tasks, work, and 0 calls.
Look, thanks so much for doing this, Yulia. I think it has been really educational for me, and I'm sure for the audience as well, personally, to learn from your experiences with everything from motherhood to marketing to your journey as an entrepreneur and beyond. Thanks so much for doing this, and I'm excited to kind of keep following the rest of your journey.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Pleasure is mine. I hope it was impactful.